I'm gonna go nuts for donuts. Every day is donut day. That's right. Happy National Donut Day, everybody. This is Allergy actress Mary Beth Eversole coming to you today to bring you allergy-friendly donuts. National Donut Day became very popular right around World War I because they were having a hard time getting like baked things to the soldiers across the sea. So the Salvation Army actually sent a group of people, women, over to create these huts, these Salvation Army huts that the soldiers could go into, and the women would bake, and the things they baked were donuts. And they would give donuts, and they started being called the donut dollies. And so in honor of these lassies that made donut deliveries to all the soldiers in World War I, they created National Donut Day. I think that's pretty freaking cool. Okay, so how about let's get to the ingredients? Yes! Before I was diagnosed with my allergies, I ate a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have that made me sick often. However, I loved donuts. Oh my gosh, when I was a kid, we used to go to the donut shop every Sunday, and I always loved the cake donuts with sprinkles. Oh, or any kind of donut that had like apple in it. So thus, apple cider donuts today. Yes, okay? So here are the ingredients. There are two components to this. There are the actual donuts themselves, and then there's the glaze. So, oh, and by the way, you do have to invest in a donut tray. But I'll tell you what, I went to my local grocery store yesterday, and look, they had this tray, and it was like $5. I mean, come on. For donuts? Yeah. Okay, so here are the ingredients for the actual donuts themselves. You need 2 cups of apple cider. Now I have reduced this down. That means you bring it up to a boil, and then you let it continue to boil until it reduces, meaning it gets smaller in size. And you want to reduce it from 2 cups down to 2/3 of a cup, and then you want to cool it. Okay, so then we go over here. We get 8 tablespoons of butter. Make sure it's room temperature. You want a cup of white granulated sugar, and you want 2 eggs also at room temperature. And then you want half a cup of buttermilk. Now, if y'all don't know how to make buttermilk, go check out my sub clips, because I have taught you how to make a dairy-free buttermilk. Okay? And then you want to have 3½ cups of any all-purpose gluten-free flour. And again, if you don't know how to make an all-purpose gluten-free flour, go check out another sub clip of mine that'll be coming out soon. That'll be the all-purpose flour. The flour on my sub clip already includes the guar gum. This one today, however, I'm using a different flour, and this does not include the guar gum. So along with the 3½ cups of the flour, you need 2½ teaspoons of guar gum to go in that mix. Okay, so then you're also going to have 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Remember, baking powder has cornstarch in it unless you get the baking powder that has tapioca starch. Okay, so then you get 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then you want half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, that's the one on the right, and you want 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, that's the one on the left, and you want 1/2 teaspoon of salt, that's the white one in the middle, and there is what you're going to have for your donuts. Now, as far as your glaze goes, that's what is where you dip your donuts in when you're done cooking them. You also need 2 cups of apple cider, and that you want to reduce down again until it's about like 6 tablespoons, I think. So yeah, 6 tablespoons, and so that took a while to reduce down. But again, you bring it up to a boil, you let it boil until it reduces down. That's 2 cups down to 6 tablespoons, which is about 3 fluid ounces. Okay, along with that, you want 2 tablespoons of butter, unsalted, and you want 1½ cups of confectioner's sugar. Now, let me talk about the butter for a second. Again, that is the non-dairy, soy-free, allergy-friendly butter that I get from my local allergy-friendly grocery store. There are several different variations. I'm sure you can find one that works for you. And then as far as the confectioner's sugar goes, remember, confectioner's sugar often has cornstarch in it. So if you don't want cornstarch, you got to look for the one that has tapioca starch. There is one that exists, I promise you. Okay, on to the main event. We are now making our donut. So we have creamed the butter, and now I'm going to put in sugar all of the sugar. That's 1 cup. Sugar, sugar, sugar. And we gotta cream that. All right, and now we get to do the eggs one at a time. So, uno. Oh, maybe not like that. How about we do that? There, okay. 1 egg. And here's the second egg. I'm not gonna drop it this time. There. By the way, I have preheated my oven to 425. And I think I showed you before, but I greased the donut sheet. I used the little spray olive oil thing, but you can use, if you can use Pam, you can use it. So now, the eggs have been added. Now we are going to put the buttermilk. Splashy, splashy. And then we are going to do the reduced apple cider. Splasher, splasher. And, oh, by the way, I have mixed all of the dry ingredients together, except for that sugar. The sugar stayed out because it went with the creamy butter. But the rest of the dry ingredients went into this mixture right here. And so now we are going to put this in here. Remember to always add slowly. So, not everything all at once. So, a little bit at a time. Oh, 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 oh. There we go. There's the first bit. Alrighty-ro. Here comes the second bit. Ha-ha! Donuts. I think I can fit it all. Oh my gosh. You guys, I can't wait. I cannot wait. Alright. Meow, meow, meow. Alright, so as it gets a little thicker and it gets mixed in, you can speed it up. And you want to mix it for like a minute. And then I'll show you what to do next. So here's a really cool idea to help you pipe this into your pan and make it a little easier to get the donut in there. Put it in a little bag like this and then cut the corner and then you can just do this. Voila! You're supposed to fill it about 2/3 full. That gets it about right there, and it makes it fairly uniform. You just gotta have to go quick though, because otherwise it starts dripping out. And the last one. So as you can see, there's more dough than there is filling this pan. So you will have to take a few passes at doing the dough. It makes about, I think, 18 donuts. So we're gonna pop this in the oven for about 7 to 8 minutes, and in that process, we're gonna make the glaze. As you can see, the first batch of donuts is out. So you want to cool them in the pan for 5 minutes, and then you want to turn them out onto that wire rack until they're completely cool. And then what you do is you dip them in what we're going to make now, which is this amazing glaze. So you want to make sure your apple cider that you've reduced down to 3 fluid ounces is warm, well, actually hot. So you'll want to make sure that you reduce this just before you make the glaze. And then you're going to put your 2 tablespoons of butter in, because what you want is for the sauce to melt the butter. And so then you stir until the butter is melted. And then once the butter is melted, look guys, the butter is melting. Okay. Once the butter is melted, then you want to take the confectioner's sugar, and you don't want to put it all in. You just want to put enough to make a glaze. So I'm going to take like a large spoon, and I'm going to add just a little bit at a time until I get a glaze-like consistency. Which, if you don't know what a glaze-like consistency looks like, you need to get out more. No, glaze-like consistency, it's like still, it's kind of clear, but kind of not. I don't know. It's thick. So, so like this is the beginnings of it, but it's not quite, still too loose. So you keep adding until you get to the glaze-like consistency. So I'm going like a scoop at a time. Your stirring stick will start to get a little thick, whatever you're stirring with. And you want to make sure that you stir. I'm actually going to get a fork. I think that'll work better. So you want to make sure that you're stirring kind of like you would stir eggs. Okay, so now see it's getting a little thicker. And I still want it to be even thicker. So I'm going to add, so far I'm at 3 scoops of this big spoon. This might do it. So here we are. Oh my gosh, you guys. We're so close to donut time. Okay. I'm so excited. Okay, so see it's turning a little bit lighter. And it's getting much thicker now. So I'm whisking for a donut day to find me. Aha. Okay. All right. Actually, I think one more scoop, and then. So yeah, fairly thick sauce that you then dip your donuts in once they have cooled. And then once the donuts have cooled, you just take them, you dip them in, like dip, and then you put them on a rack to dry so that the glaze will set, and then enjoy your donuts. So here is the beginnings of the glaze. This is what it really should look like. It's a little lumpy still, but that's how thick it should be. So yeah, so I'm gonna keep making the glaze, and then I'll show you what the donut looks like at the very end. Okay guys, final step. Donuts are cooled, so you dip in the little glaze. Oh my gosh, these look so good. And this is what you end up with. And then you let the glaze dry. Now I've done a few already, so I'm gonna pick this one. And I'm gonna try it. Are you ready? I think that says it all. Happy donut day, you guys. This is Allergy Actor signing off. Till next time.